You're listening to Celebrating the Faces of Small Businesses in Dalby, a special series for Small Business Month, proudly brought to you by the Dalby Chamber of Commerce and Industry in partnership with 4DDD. This May, we're shining a spotlight on the people behind our local businesses, the innovators, the risk takers, and the everyday champions who keep Dalby thriving. Join us as we go beyond the storefront to uncover the stories, passion, and drive powering small businesses across our region. Because when small business thrives, Dalby thrives. Happy Small Business Month.
Hi, I'm Sam from the Dalby Chamber of Commerce, and today I'm joined with Dr David Liu from Dentists in Dalby. Dr Liu is principal dentist and is passionate about helping people feel more confident and comfortable when it comes to their oral health, something many of us can relate to. He's part of a modern, locally focused practice that really puts patient care and comfort first. Today, we're going to chat about his journey into dentistry, what it looks like working in such a people-focused field, and the role small businesses play in supporting our community. Dr. Liu, thank you so much for joining me today. David, can you share how the practice first came about and what inspired the vision behind creating a contemporary practice, patient-centered space?
Yeah, of course. Thank you, and I appreciate your time here. So before I started dentist in Dalby, I was working in Toowoomba, which is really close by. And throughout my time in Toowoomba, I really felt like there was more that I could do for the patients, but I was always felt like I was held back a little bit, whether it's the timing or the equipment. I always felt like there was something else that I could do to better my treatment. And then I saw that there was basically a vacant spot that opened up in Dalby, and it was really the perfect opportunity for me to start doing the dentistry that I wanted to do. So that's how this whole essentially business and idea started.
Yeah, wow, that's great.
Yeah.
You offer a huge range of services from same-day crowns and emergency appointments to implants, wisdom teeth removal, advanced restorative options. What are some of the biggest advantages you've adopted, and what difference does that make to Dalby patients?
Yeah, definitely. So we really try to keep everything in-house as much as possible. And because of that, we can offer just about every service in the dental field. So we're really proud of all the technology that we've brought into the clinic. So it can be anything from our digital scanners to our 3D x-rays, our 3D printers, and we've got a whole range of implant equipment as well. What we find, especially for the patients that are already traveling really far, even just to get to Dalby, it's really a great comfort to them, especially for follow-up care, meaning that they don't have to travel back and forth, say, to Brisbane so much there. So that's really the impact that we see on our patients.
Yeah, and speaking as someone who's actually gotten some work done by you, I can say that's definitely been a huge advantage because I go in there at a lunchtime and it's just a quick, easy appointment because you've got everything ready to go.
Yeah, definitely, especially with orthodontics, you've got to be back and forth so many times. If you've got to travel to Toowoomba every time, it really takes a lot of time out of your schedule. So
Yeah.
it makes it easy for everybody.
Yeah, I didn't mind too much as a teenager taking the full day off school, but when you're an adult and you've got to be at work,
Yeah, that's right.
it's a lot easier. Can
That's
agree with that. Running a dental practice that offers such a wide scope of treatment most require a lot of coordination behind the scenes. What does a typical day look like for you and the team as you balance emergency care, schedule procedures, same-day treatment, and ongoing patient relationships?
Well, it's a great question because that's the great part of dentistry is that every day is not the same as the day before or the day after, so we always stay on our toes. What we find really is as long as we've got great communication between us, our team, the support staff, and the patient, we really can be prepared for anything. And as long as we're equipped and got everything ready, we can tackle anything that comes in the door.
Yep. Because how big is your team?
So we've got a team of about 6
Oh,
altogether there.
Yep.
So it's not too big, not too small.
But yeah, you can ultimately handle anything that the day throws at you.
Pretty much just the way that we run with the equipment that we've got. Like I said, we can handle just about anything that rocks up in the door there.
Yeah, fantastic. Dalby has a strong, close-knit community. How important is local support to your practice, and how do you stay connected with families and individuals across the region?
Yeah, absolutely. So like I said, I worked in Toowoomba, so I already had a little bit of a feel for the area, but we've been really lucky with the amount of support and really the amount of people that have trusted us with their oral health. I try to stay as connected to the community as we can. We recently did an open day with Cole, the Donut Man. That was nice.
Local legend, yes.
Yes, yeah, local legend. His donuts are pretty good. I had quite a few myself. And even we did that just to meet some new people in town as well. Personally, I try to play a bit of tennis. I'm pretty connected to the tennis community, so it's always nice to really be in the community that you serve.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Um, Dental technology was evolved dramatically. Can you walk us through a piece of technology you use daily that makes a huge difference in treatment outcomes, but most patients probably don't realize what is happening?
Yeah, so we've got a lot of things that are quite flashy and really cool to look at, and really you can see it straight away. But I think the most subtle one is probably our 3D X ray technology.
Oh, yes, I've used that one.
Yeah, definitely the
Yep.
one that spins around your head. Yeah, that's right. So it's quite quick and it's really only a very small part of the journey, but it gives us so much information. So everything from implant planning to diagnosis to wisdom teeth removal, it just lets us do a lot more than we otherwise could, and we wouldn't be able to do work without it. So that's probably the one piece of technology that makes the biggest impact behind the scenes there.
Yeah, just that you can have more information so that way you can make it better.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we're only as good as the information that we can get. So if you've only got half the picture, it makes planning a lot harder.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Dr. Luke, dentures can be described as part science, part art. What is an example of a procedure where you feel more like a craftsman or creative problem solver rather than pure clinical?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I think anything to do with aesthetics or appearance wise definitely has a bit of that blend of art and science. So for sure, there's a whole, I guess, textbook of science that goes into what makes a great smile. But realistically, it also takes a lot of input from the patient and the dentist, and a lot of the dentist's personal style as well. So to give you an example, could be the shape of the teeth. Some people like more square teeth. Some people like more rounded teeth, all so on and so forth. So I feel like because it's not an exact science about what looks good for each individual patient, it's a great, I guess, blend of both science and art in that case.
Yeah, and you would definitely like obviously building a relationship with the client to make sure that it fits
Yeah, exactly.
their need.
It's
Yeah,
it's funny because sometimes what I think looks good might not necessarily be what the patient thinks looks good, but realistically, it's just about working to see what we can do for the patient and make a great result, basically.
yeah, absolutely. Many patients carry anxiety, sometimes because of past experiences. What strategies or approaches do you or your team use behind the scenes to prepare for these patients even before they walk through the door?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I think a lot of it is, especially for some of our older patients that have had bad experiences when they were young. A big part of it is being gentle and making sure that they know that they're always in control. That does alleviate a lot of the in-chair anxiety that we see. But I think it's also important for people to know that there are other options. So we have sleep dentistry where we can essentially do dentistry while you're asleep or unconscious. And there's also oral sedation as well. So there are a lot of options to help make the whole experience much nicer.
Yep.
And you've only got to ask.
I was going to say, like any excuse to have a nap, hey?
Well, that's right. Especially, yeah, you got to get off your feet for a little bit out of your day. Most of the people we see are really busy.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, probably seeing all the tools is probably what causes a lot of the anxiety. So yeah, if you've had that option where you can not be awake for it,
Yeah, yeah.
probably makes your job a lot easier as well.
Well, it is a little bit easier for everybody there, but it's just really great that there's an option for that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. While patients often interact mainly with the dentist, there's a whole team making things work smoothly. Can you talk about the role of dentist assistants, lab technicians, and front of house staff, and how your team create a welcoming community in your business?
Yeah, that's a good point. So you're absolutely right. We're not just ourselves. We've got a whole bunch of support staff around us. So obviously our dental assistants are very critical for us to help us during the procedure. The lab technicians we can't work without. They are fantastic in creating beautiful crowns and ceramic work and other lab work as well. And our front desk does a great job in making sure our day runs smoothly. So really all of these things together help us create a great experience for the patient, and we wouldn't be able to do dentistry without them.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You've got to know you're only as good as your team, right?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Every dental practice faces its own set of challenges, whether technological, operational, or patient related. What has been some of the biggest lessons or turning points in your journey with dentists in Dalby?
So I think a very unique experience that I've had setting up dentists in Dalby that I didn't have working previously is working with the hospital. So it's a whole new field of we've got to talk to hospital staff, nurses, doctors, and it's something that, well, nothing that I've ever done before has prepared me for. And it's tricky because it is quite a logistical challenge to get both us, the patient, the doctors, and the hospital everywhere all at the same time in the one room.
That's very logistically terrifying.
Yeah, correct. So very often the hospital will say, okay, we've got this day available at this time, and then we've got to try to work that out with everybody there. So it's just a very unique experience, sort of us trying to work that all out. And once we're there, it's always a bit of a learning curve doing it in a different environment from our dental clinic. But that's probably been one of the more unique challenges that we've seen. But now that we've set it up, it's really a big part of our basically dentistry, the fact that we can put patients to sleep for bigger surgeries or highly anxious patients. It's a great option there.
Yeah, fantastic. And it helps that you would obviously have a big team so that way you can make that logistically work.
Yeah, definitely. Like, for example, we've got to bring all of our assistants, all our equipment over. So it's a bit of a bit of work to get everything organized there for sure.
Oh, how cool. Without giving away private details, are there any heartwarming, funny, or memorable experiences from your time in the clinic that you can share with our listeners?
Yeah, absolutely. And there may be some of our patients that are listening right now, but I think all of our full arch or full mouth implant patients, it's always incredibly rewarding to see them at the end of their journey. So a lot of these people have been suffering with dental issues their whole lives. And the fact that we can essentially give them a great smile to see that confidence build up, it's really a beautiful transformation that we see. So I would say every time that happens, it's just very, very rewarding.
Yeah, absolutely. Particularly like if you put all that hard work in, I can only imagine the patients would be stoked to continue smiling, to have a reason to smile because they've got such a great set of teeth.
That's right. And it's really great to see because we can do these procedures usually in one day. So they walk in with essentially, a set of teeth and they walk out with a brand new smile there. So it's even just seeing that transition happen in one day is quite magical to see.
Yeah, they'd have like a little skip in their step as they leave.
yeah, lots of hugs, lots of tears. So
that's so rewarding. Yeah,
seen that before, and it's really that's what sort of gets you out of bed every day.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds incredible, Dr. Lou. Looking ahead 5-10 years, what advancements or shifts in dentistry do you think will have the biggest impact in our regional communities like Dalby?
Yeah, so as a regional community, one of the challenges is basically getting lab work back and forth. So whether it's labs from Sydney or Melbourne, there's always a bit of a delay, really with the shipping and the logistics. So what I'm seeing is that as 3D printing technology gets better and better, we're actually able to essentially print a lot of the materials that we would have otherwise had to send to lab. So splints probably being a good example. The things that we can print are sort of only getting more and more, and the quality is just getting better and better. So I see in the future, at least, if we can print a lot of the things that we're sending off, it'll just make it a lot more convenient for everybody, really. So that's really where the advancement's going in the future, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you can print everything in-house, as you said, it only gets easier and you can work everything out on the day and then fix it and then, simply book in an appointment.
That's right. You can even print dentures and things these days as well.
That's very cool.
So I'm always learning new things every day, but it's sort of similar to the technology we use for same-day crowns. Back then, we didn't think it was possible, but now we can do same-day crowns, and it's just only going to get better and better from here on out.
Very good. Okay, Dr. Lou, thank you so much for sharing your story and insights with us today. It's always great to hear from the people behind our local businesses. And to everyone listening, don't forget to support local this May for Small Business Month. Thanks for tuning in.
You've been listening to The Faces of Small Business. In places like Dalby, local businesses aren't just shops. They're the lifeblood of the community. This joint project by the Dalby Chamber of Commerce and Industry and 4DDD shares their stories. Tune in next time and celebrate the folks who keep our town rolling strong.